Hello, hello. Welcome back, everyone, to Play On. My name is Candace Barrett.
I'm Rob Mackay.
And this is Pearcey from... Are we back in winter? Have I gone in a time machine? It's back in cold country here in the Central West.
It is a bit colder here in Sydney. I'm wearing fluffy socks, so
and
yeah.
World Cup merch. It's an excuse to get your merch out, Candace. So
Yay!
yeah, nice.
And Rob,
nice.
are you wearing a Balmoral Touch Footy Academy shirt bragging that you've got a Wallaby captain in your ranks now?
Yes, that was a little bit of a surprise to everyone, but we were very, very pleased. NCDCC, as he's now known.
Little C, big C.
It's a funny, what is it? It's nickel cadmium dicarbonic. I think if you throw your
For all the chemists out there.
together, yeah, for all the chemists out there, it's a compound I wouldn't mix too much, and I wouldn't trouble with it.
Sounds like it'll make a good drill bit.
Yeah, indeed. So really, really pleased for Nick. Good fella. He played with us when he has a chance, and we haven't seen much of him this year because he's been rather busy, and rightfully so too. So well done to him.
And he was busy on Saturday too.
He was extremely busy, and he played a lot of lock, which I don't think was on his bingo card at the start of the week. I don't think he had captaincy on the bingo card. I don't think he had playing lock for most of the test match on his bingo card.
No, and I also suspect he didn't have as many minutes as what he had there, but that's okay.
Yes, correct.
I read an article this week that we now have a crisis of locks, which is very un-Australian. We normally have a closet full of them.
Interesting. It's a very technical sort of position. I remember always trying to be a player, always wanted to be a flanker, and I just saying I'm also a second rower and always got chosen.
Yeah. I do remember the selection criteria for a lock. Do they need to be able to do anything? No. Are they tall? Yes. Pick him.
Yeah. Do you want to have two props and everyone sitting on you on the scrum? Okay.
Well, it's funny. It's feast and famine, isn't it? So this week we're short. Next week, when we're back in Reg 9 window, we'll have probably an excess. So we'll have Willie Skelton back.
But who have we got this week? Is it England?
Yes.
Thanks, Reg 9.
Yeah, Reg 9. That's the global calendar that we just haven't quite nailed, isn't it?
Yeah, let's have a test match when we can't get all our good players against the team that can get all the good players.
Yes, it's a bit of a trade-off, isn't it? Because you want the matches to be played, but you also want the best players, and then club and country, all the usual dilemmas that we face.
Wonderful.
So I want to bring up some fun rugby news. I wanted to share, we brought up our 360 a few weeks ago on the pod, but also what I loved was the West Australian Rugby Union for referees. They really took it to the next step and did a post about how they're addressing the ongoing rumors about it and how it might affect match officials. So they were giving almost their clause if they wanted to include referees.
Yeah.
So
I did see a couple of other clubs to get on board with it. I thought it was really good. Like a couple of clubs are saying, if you get approached by this, you will have to shout the rest of the team because none of us are getting paid. Go for it. Go nuts. And for the record, if they're looking for a has-been 50-year-old referee that will travel,
my goodness,
I'm free.
yes, you're free. Go for it. If you want a full-time water bitch, I'm also
world's best
free.
water bitch. WB.
Yeah,
Jeez,
there
we're
you go.
tarts, aren't we? I've got to say, one of the funniest ones I saw was from one of our junior clubs, and it's a small junior club. It's local. They don't go much beyond about under 12s or under 13s, and they put out a social media post almost straight away along those lines about their kids. It was very, very funny.
I'm joining dots here. That wasn't the Harlequins by any chance, was it?
No, it was North Pirates. Pirates, and quite appropriate in the circumstances, right? So they did a great job of it.
What else has been happening, Candace?
Wanted to highlight that Sarah Cox was on a podcast. She was on the Rugby Rodeo with Ellie Kildunn and Jess Breach. So if you haven't already, I've only just started a little bit of it, so I'm looking forward to listening to the rest of it. So that's just highlighting. They were discussing about the difference between, because obviously Sarah Cox has refereed both men's and women's at a high level. So she was sort of describing how we're starting to separate. There used to be the women's always being compared to the men's, but it's now a separate game, and it's quite interesting how the women play the game versus the men's as well. So she was talking about how she has noticed that through refereeing as well.
I think the women's game has got a lot more of the rugby that I would consider purist rugby, keeping the ball in play, running,
exactly.
and if you're kicking, they're not kicking for touch and the stop as much. And that's a byproduct that they can't kick the ball as far yet. But that gap is narrow. We've spoken of that. And you can say the same across a lot of women's sports. In the rugby, the hits are just as brutal. The contact is more. I think they're running the ball from more places on the field. So, from a purist point of view, it's better to watch. Yeah.
And they're still having the same number of sort of like mauls and everything as well. Like you can still have a good contest for line out to maul as well. But no, she really goes through that and it sort of describes that she knows that the men are stronger. She knows that they can pass and fling the ball further. So it's not like denying that. It's just, it'd be, again, very interesting if anyone wants to listen to that.
But as a byproduct of that, the field for the men is effectively narrower. Their ability to pass across field is maybe 5 good passes. For the women, it might take 7. And what that does is it means you've got more attacking width. The pass can beat the player by further with men. You've got more running rugby with the women. I think there's a lot to like about the way the women's game's running, and it is developing its own brand. It's developing a little bit of a different, quirky, funny, enjoyable brand. The men have got a little bit of thuggish strength. We celebrate the big hits and the one-off events rather than the great brand of rugby. We saw the Canadians playing a great brand of rugby, and we all wanted to watch it. It was so fun to watch. So there's a lot to like about that.
Yeah, so good. And then we brought it up before, but again, highlighting it came up as well for me, the orange card that the French were going to bring in.
Ton orange. Is it?
So that's 20 minutes off field, no bunker. So just wanted to highlight that again as a news.
So we put our yellow card in our left pocket, our red card in our right pocket. Where do we put the orange card? Don't ask.
In our socks?
Have you ever seen the footage of Walshy having to dig the card out of the sock where it fell down into his shoe effectively? Chasing the card, very, very unprofessional, very hard to be taken seriously when you're fishing in your sock for a card.
I've lost coins in there and been really awkward when I've obviously warmed up and then now I'm looking for a coin to do a toss and it's just dug deep inside my sock somewhere.
I think I think it was Canterbury shorts, the pockets were such, there was a little corner down the bottom of the pocket. You put your coin in there, it was never going to fall out.
They'd sewn the logo into the pocket, so it was basically had a coin slot and it was wedged in forever.
Yeah, but you couldn't get it out. Yeah, that's exactly right. So, and now because we've got the multiplicity of cards, you can't really do one in each pocket. You got to use the holder that we have. I used the holder for years because you had the blue card as well. But recently, I've gone to just having the separate cards, so they're quicker to pull out. But now with the different combinations, we're going to need, a card sharp. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just get like a little filing folder.
Cards. That's right. So, but we're seeing a little bit of, ironically, grey in this space too, because we've got the French with the orange.
Don't tell me we've got to get a grey card as well.
Yes.
And a black one and a
monochromatic.
Well, I've been carrying a brown card for years, as I've always said. That's
yes, indeed. Well, we know which slot that's in. So we've got
started out yellow.
Yeah. Ooh. Well, my old school colours were gold and brown, but they were also known as piss and shit. But anyway, we move on.
Yep.
Hawthorn, exactly. So we've got the English Prem that have a 20-minute red card, but they don't have a bunker referral process. So they actually make the decision on the spot. So a slightly different process again. So we're getting variations away from what we're trying to do with consistency across the globe. I don't know whether that'll come back to some, one process or not. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Watching brief.
Interesting. Watch this space. What do we have here?
Tell me about Paraguay.
Can someone I'm not sure
I can explain this one.
Sentence.
So, look, I've got to say, firstly, hats off to Paraguay. They've discovered they had an ineligible player. So they've put their hands up and disqualified themselves from the World Cup qualification process.
How can you have an ineligible player? Are they not actually from the country? Is that basically it?
Ricardo Macoro was playing for him.
Look, I don't want to go into the details of it because it's not relevant to the conversation really. They've worked it out. They've fallen on their sword. So that means in Dubai in a couple of weeks' time when the final spot between the 4 teams is played for, Paraguay are out and Brazil are in. So we lose one South American, we get another.
Yeah.
But I mean that's really hard on everyone in Paraguay who's done all the work, and through what looks like an inadvertent error in this case, has cost them a spot in the World Cup. Which contrasts.
And the error would be with the player who's definitely not eligible, has been played. He might have had a under 20s game for Argentina and thereby ruled himself out. But
someone's got their paperwork wrong. They haven't met the residency criteria, whatever it might be. We saw something similar in the last World Cup where Spain did something similar, although they were a bit naughtier and they got whacked a bit. So they got knocked out of the World Cup along the same grounds. And we've seen it here. We've seen it here in Shoot Shield. We had a premiership winning team earlier in the season play too many players, so they're above their points cap. So that similar issue was an eligibility issue. And some of the eligibility criteria is not that clear. So you've only got to miss a word and you get it wrong. So we need to have it, but it's just a little bit sad for Paraguay. But that means there's a new team coming in a few weeks' time at relatively short notice. So that'll be a challenge for them. So if they do get through,
congrats.
They'll have a huge following in Australia and Brazil. But they've got their work cut out for them because let's see who we got instead. So slotting into, so instead of Paraguay playing Samoa, we've got Brazil and Samoa. And then we've got Belgium and Namibia.
So good. That'll be really interesting. Again, I'm excited to see what these matches are like because I've never really seen these teams.
Yeah, they're always fun.
Well, Belgium went very close last time. Samoa have been in many World Cups, as have Namibia. So there's going to be some big names that miss out. So, and of course, Geordie's on that. So he'll be busy, as will Brett Cronin.
So good. Do we want to move on to highlight some of our either new, lesser known sort of match officials?
Well,
or this week's test appointments.
Have you got the appointments there, Rob?
Yeah, so I just want to shout out last week. We had some unusual test matches. We had Finland and Latvia. We had Serbia and Slovakia. We had Sweden and Croatia. We had Lithuania and Poland. We had Finland and Sweden in women. So there's a whole bunch of other tests going on that don't get a lot of coverage. And I have to say, I don't know the match officials involved. I know their names. But I think we really need to celebrate them more because these people are on the pathway. Now, they might not get anywhere, but by the same token, they might. We know, Pearcey, your first test was, Team 100 versus Team 120 or whatever it was. That's how it starts.
No, it was Tonga, Fiji.
All right.
Both going to the World Cup.
I'll redo my maths.
But there's been a lot. I think Gussie's was Papua New Guinea, Cook Islands from memory. It was very much a non-powerhouses.
And that's my point. I
remember going to a tournament in Kuala Lumpur. We were reffing a tens tournament, and there was 20 match officials there, and there's a bloke from Dubai there, and he's introducing himself. I've done 84 tests. I'm like, oh wow, that's cool. That's ridiculous. That's a crazy amount of tests. So some of these guys, they are champions in their own right.
Yeah. So just a tip of the hat to them. So hopefully we'll see them come through the ranks and see them at some greater tournaments soon, or on a flag somewhere. You never know. Supporting some of the more experienced test match officials. So bravo to them.
We saw on Saturday night. The referee for Saturday night was probably non-traditional rugby background, and he did a great job.
Ben O'Keefe.
Yeah.
Non-traditional.
That'll get back. So to this
South
weekend.
Island in New Zealand, I thought that was great there.
Yeah, no, nice. Well played, Pearcey. You set him up, we'll knock him down. So this week, okay, we're going to do two things. We're going to talk about the referees. Then I want you to tell me where the match is being played. No peeking, all right? So first one, England, Australia. We've got Nika Amishakeli in the centre. So where's that one being played?
London?
Yes, that one's in Twickenham. All right, next one, South Africa, Japan. Ian Cross has got that. Where's that one being played?
I'm also going to say in the UK, in London.
Yes, on the same day.
Same ground?
No. So
are we going to a large soccer venue?
Is it in up north? Is it in Scotland, Murrayfield?
No. Well, it is up north compared to Twickenham. It's at Wembley. So
okay.
Yeah, cool.
England, Australia at Twickenham, South Africa versus Japan at Wembley.
Wembley would be so good.
So the rebuilt Wembley. I've been to the old one. I haven't been to the new one. So that'll be a busy weekend for the publicans. They'll be enjoying that. Social media will be fun after those two matches, I reckon. Then we've got Scotland versus USA. Damien Schneider, who we met last year.
Murrayfield.
Yes.
Yeah. There we go.
Got that one.
Yeah, well done. All right, here we go. Ireland versus New Zealand, and Pierre Brousset has that one.
Is that in Chicago?
Yes.
There we go. I knew there was one of them that was so
I do listen to you, Rob.
Very good.
I think I guessed it last week. I thought there was another Ireland one that I thought was in Chicago. That'll be really fun.
All right. So Barbarians versus an All Blacks 15. And Nick Berry's got this one.
Is it in Wales or something? That'd be fun. Oh.
That's an interesting one. Is that in the US as well? Oh, wow. So the Kiwis are spreading themselves thin. London.
Yep.
Allianz?
Well,
AK
so here's the
Twickenham?
trick.
Stoop.
I don't think anyone's going to be able to name the ground. Oh, I don't even know where it is.
The Stoop?
It's the G-Tech Community Stadium, London.
Oh.
Piercey's on to Google. And it's on the same day.
It's the other one that's going to Wembley. And
as the Twickenham and Wembley games.
It's almost like no one is speaking to each other, and they've all
it's
tried to...
It's in a faraway place called Kew.
I know where you're going with that.
Home of London Irish, Brentford FC.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, that's
good luck to that club. That club's going to get lots of money.
17,250. It's not a big ground.
No.
I reckon it's hard, isn't it? If you want to go watch some footy, what do you do? Do you go to Wembley? Do you go to Allianz? Or do you go to Brentford?
Try to get tickets, yeah.
I have a sneaking suspicion that I've seen this ground before.
Are they all around the same kickoff times? Or can you just do one in the morning or one?
I don't have the times, unfortunately.
That'd be quite fun, just trying to go around.
I think the England-Australia match is actually a daytime kickoff. Let me have a look. If it's the time I think it is, it's 2:10 a.m. here. So, yeah, that's an afternoon game.
Nice.
Nice, yeah. Not so nice for watching it here. So maybe South Africa, Japan is in the evening, or the Barbars game's in the evening. I don't know, but there's three pretty bloody good games of footy on the same day.
Who ended up coaching the Barbars? Did we find that out?
No, I haven't heard.
I haven't seen
heard
anything
that
either.
So it's been pretty quiet, actually. I imagine we'll get a lot of chat about that this week. I haven't even seen the team squad. So there's one more game on the weekend, and this is Munster versus an Argentina 15. And Gussie's got that one.
Fun.
So where do you reckon that one is? Limerick.
In Dublin? Limerick. Oh.
That rounds out an eventful weekend, the first of the autumn/spring internationals, but also outside the Reg 9 window. So shit gets real the next week.
Cool.
I think for the Wallabies, shit gets pretty real this weekend.
Absolutely.
We need to get a sound result against the Pommies.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're still outside the top 6 in our rankings. We're a bee stick behind the Argentinians, so it's all to play for the next few weeks, that's for sure.
Next, I want to carry on with some other trends that we've seen through rugby. We have one here written down, the offside matrix, and whether or not we want to expand on that.
So this was a very funny situation. I don't know if you've seen it, but it was a couple of weeks ago. Quins were playing Sarries English Prem. Adam Lill's on the whistle, and play's continuing. In the background, there's an injured player. And he's been down for a couple of... He's genuinely injured. He's an Argentinian. And
can we just say that an injured Argentinian is able to look more injured than they actually are?
And he was a back.
Outside
a
back?
Winger?
It could have been a hair injury.
I think he fell on his comb. But he had been down for a little while, and then play came down his channel. So, and it's really quite funny because the TV producer narrows the shot onto the play, and then all of a sudden this guy just gets whacked from behind because he's got up and gone, whoa! Yeah, Lazarus. So he's gone back and tackled the guy, and Adams penalised him for offside. And, he looked Argentinian bemused. And, of course, we didn't have a really good wide angle to start with.
Arms up. What?
Lots of hand gestures.
So it obviously wasn't an arm injury. But it then made my rugby brain think, well, actually, was he offside or not? So there are a number of ways we can look at this, and this brings in also my favourite law that has come back in, and it's a definition, and it's loiter or loitering. A player who remains in an offside position is loitering.
Yeah.
A loiterer who prevents the opposing team from playing the ball as they wish is taking part in the game and is liable to sanction. A loiterer must not benefit from being put onside by the opposing team's action. So that's interesting, isn't it? So that's what I call the safety net for a scenario like that. Because if it doesn't look right, doesn't feel right, you're probably a loiterer. If we get down into the nuance of it, it's actually a little bit more complicated than that, because offside and onside in open play is law 10. And there are a number of ways you can be put back onside, but it will depend on what phase of play we've got. So you've got to have a really clear decision-making process. Are we in open play, or are we in retiring from a ruck, maul, scrum or line-out? Because the decision-making process is different depending on how we've restarted play. So in this one, if we didn't have loitering, we'd come from a ruck or maul. So he could have been put onside if he retires behind the offside line. Did he do that? Yes, he did. An opposition player carries the ball 5 metres in any direction. Well, they probably carried it about 4.5, or an opposition player kicks the ball. But that didn't happen. And Adam absolutely nailed it, but he swept it up nicely in the loitering. Loitering was perfect. But in open play, the decision-making process is slightly different. So it's a trick for new players. So the takeaway from that is know your law 10 and have it clear in your mind. Do a little matrix. Is it open play? Is it a loiterer? Is it from phase play? And then go from there. Yeah. So that's the short form. Law 10 is your friend.
1 point D, loitering in an offside position. There's actually a video that goes with it. I'm going to watch that when we finish up.
Yeah. Preventing opposition from playing as they wish.
So yes, that's a great law of the week, Rob. Thank you for that.
Yay!
I feel slightly more confused than I was beforehand.
It is actually quite a confusing law. It is.
That's why I need to see a video.
I think, everyone learns differently, so some people need
How did Ted
pictures.
Lasso say it, offside? It's a bit like the sentence definition of pornography. You know it when you see it? I love the Ted Lasso stuff, as you know.
Well, there's still rumours of another series.
Not rumours. It's a thing. It's being recorded. It's.
They're
talking about a February 2026 release.
Oh, not that you got it marked in your calendar.
I'll be busy that week.
You know what they'll do? They'll drip feed it.
Yes, week by week. I love it.
Bastards.
Like an old-fashioned TV
you can't
serial.
Binge. Yeah.
Yeah,
I will binge later.
Oh, okay.
You won't be able to wait. Come on, what are you talking about?
As well as watching it live. I've been watching some reruns of it. I do love it.
Yeah.
It's just last night I was watching the barbecue sauce episode.
I wish I knew what that meant.
The darts.
All I know.
I have seen it, but I can't remember.
The great episode with the quote from Walt Whitman, "Be curious, not judgmental." It's a good one.
We could go off on a major tangent here, couldn't we?
I'm happy to. Someone get me back on the script. What's the script say, Candace?
So I wanted to link with Rob sort of offside with what I saw in another match. So when is the ball out? It was from a URC match where there was a 9 clearly had the ball out of the ruck, and there was a player, Elizabeth, came and tackled the 9, but there was a bit of confusion between the 9. The referee was sort of setting a tone of when is the ball out. But I want to sort of ask you guys, when is the ball out? Because I continually get asked sometimes this question.
We seem to be heading down a pathway where halfbacks get free rein there, which I don't like, I don't condone. I like to see halfbacks bashed up. But I think the clearest way I've heard it explained, we have been told not to explain it that way. That was Andre Watson. If a bird can shit on the ball, it's out.
Yeah.
And I think that is the clearest way. And we're talking about still day, vertically descending bird shit.
Still day. I like that little nuance.
Not a windy day. But I think if the halfback sits there for an eternity with their hands on the ball in the breakdown, I think it's on us to not let them do that. That's taking it a little bit too far. So we've seen that with a lot of the breakdowns, the caterpillar breakdowns that we see. So we want to see the halfback deliver the ball, but we don't like that messiness at the breakdown. And it's not attractive footy, and no one came to see that. If you're going to belt the halfback, different story. But if you're just going to grab them and make it poor possession, that's not what we want to see. So in answer to your question, Candace, when the ball is out, or as you say, oot.
Oot. When's the ball out?
Out and about. It's an interesting trend too, because a lot of the time the ball is out and the halfback's standing there scratching their head, working out which way to go, right, left, or centre, and the defending team aren't brave enough to go and pick it up or tackle him. But smart players do that, and I'm not one for saying the ball's out unless I'm asked, because that's just adding noise. It's up to the players to work that out. But I do love when a smart player just comes around, picks up, and goes on. The nine standing there going, whoa, and the other player's 20 metres down the field.
How are we talking about Etzebeth as a smart player then?
Oh, there goes our South African listenership.
He's a very attractive, large man.
Yeah, it sounds as though we can't be expected to say the ball is out at every ruck. We'll just stand there, and if a player says,
I think that's
the ball
asking for
out?
a lot of trouble if we do that.
Yeah, if
100%.
we do.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, if a player says, is the ball out, just say play on, or you can answer that and just say yes. I've heard a lot, even like the other way around, where the player is asking if they're onside or correct, then you're saying like, yes, take a step. I've heard that as well, especially for those locks who want to like lean forward and sort of push that edge of that offside line. So I think we've sort of answered, I guess, when is the ball out? It's when it's past the hind foot, basically, of the ruck. It needs to be out.
It could be out the side. It doesn't have to be past the hind foot. It's about the bird shitting on it. So whatever the shape of the breakdown is, if it's not covered by that, if it squirts out the side, often it does come out the side.
Yeah. And we've seen a little bit of gamesmanship and clever skills. You talk about the number 8 who's got the ability to trap the ball and dribble it forward in a scrum to keep it in the scrum. It's the same skill at the back of a breakdown, although less dynamic. You've got to cover it up. We see that caterpillar form. Part of the skill is to make sure you're covering the ball.
And I'm waiting to see the situation where the caterpillar forms, but I don't know if you've noticed this, but the ball is actually out and the last person comes on to cover it.
Yeah.
And actually, for me, the ball's actually been out. If you want to take the risk, come around and pick it up, because it was out and then it got covered.
Yeah. And it really is an all or nothing play. So I think a lot of coaches are really reticent to coach that, because there's parts of the field where that hurts. That's 3 points.
There's a risk. Yeah. That's one you'd probably try in your middle 40.
Yeah. Yeah, not deep in defence, not deep in attack.
Yeah, correct. But the other trend around the pillars as well, this is the yin and yang. The nine's doing the little head shimmy, which we're cutting out now. But the pillars are now starting to go early, and when the ball's not out, they're coming back and saying, "Oops, sorry." They're taking themselves out of play, but they're also then putting pressure on the nine, not inadvertently, but it's a deliberate tactic. And also the match official. Well, do I sanction that because they've come forward of the line, but there's been no impact?
Yeah.
Well, there has, but it's not impact worth spending a penalty on. So, we've got all these little nuances around the breakdown and how the caterpillars managed, both from the team in possession and the team defending it.
I did enjoy in our test touring season that law 15.16.g was strongly managed, which is players must not take any action to make the opponents believe that the ruck has ended when it has not.
Yeah.
I think let's not let halfbacks get away with anything at all in that regard.
No, it's been good, that.
I'm sure there's a parallel one from a scrum and a maul, but the ruck's obviously the one that comes into play the most.
Yeah, absolutely. We're doing well in housekeeping. There's a few more things to do, but it's good.
Yeah. But I wanted to bring up that one. The next thing was, in particular, anything from the Japan versus Australia test match that we had over the past weekend. That was refereed by Ben O'Keefe and his team. So there was a disallowed try from an obstruction on a line out to Maul. I think there's a few disallowed tries, if I'm correct.
Poor old Carlo. He got over the line 4 times. He got 1 try.
Oh.
I think that the takeaway from the match from a rugby perspective is this. It's very hard when you lose 2 of your locks very early. Rain is a great leveler, and it just goes to show you how close it is, the percentages between the top teams. We had 7 playing 13 from memory. There was not much in it, and you have a couple of inadvertent injuries that completely throw your scheduling out for your players, and add in wet weather, and it's a big leveler.
Yeah, and a couple of those players that we got injured, like Lukan Salakai, he's an 80-minute footballer every week. He plays every minute every week. You would not bank on him getting injured. So that was a big shock and very unexpected. It was pretty horrible.
Well, and he's your go forward as well, right?
Yeah.
So he's your physical grunter menace.
Yeah, 20 tackles a game, calling lineouts, a real linchpin of the team. So I'm not surprised that things got a little bit loose after he was lost.
Yeah, yeah. But the scrum held up really well. And, it's to be fair, Joe had to rest a lot of players to get through his block. So, yes, we won. It was a bit ugly.
Yeah,
but
take it.
It was.
We'll take it.
It's still a win.
Japan have been a tripping block of many, many good rugby nations lately.
Absolutely.
So that's a win that we should take.
And it was an away game. It was against Eddie.
They're in season. We're not in season.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on there. So next week will be a big step up. But yes.
Yeah. And credit to the Japanese. That shot on Robbo, that was brutal.
That was the perfect hit, wasn't it?
But can I say second best tackle of the weekend? And I'm crossing codes here. Junior Paulo, if you get a chance, hit on Sonny Luke. It was called at the time tackle of the century. Pretty hard to argue. Holy smokes.
So we're talking soccer?
The great and glorious game of Rugby League. Just Google Junior Polo. It's top of the list at the moment. It is worth a look.
Which teams were playing?
He was Samoa and Sonny Luke was playing for Tonga.
Right.
It is brutal. And it's legal. It is legit tackle. It is fantastic.
He just folded him.
Little man trying to beat a big man, and everyone thought he'd beaten him, but then Junior extended.
Junior, yeah. You never want to hear Junior on a rugby field because you know that they're anything but Junior.
There's some beautiful exhibition of what I think appropriate taunting is when he's just lying on top of him and he's not saying anything. You can just see him giggling a little bit.
Didn't give him the hair tussle.
There was no woohoo, although there was a bit of woohooing in everyone else in the stadium. He was just on top lying there going,
Yeah. So, yeah, Dr. Tom got well and truly folded. So he'll be going through some self-diagnosis this week.
And his shape, like Robbo did a good job. He was carrying well. His shape was nice and low, but holy smokes, he got folded.
Like I said, the scrum held up well. So
can we celebrate that? As Wallabies, we have not had a sound scrum consistently over the years, and we do at the moment. So
well done to the scrum coach.
That's a nice thing to have.
Keep it up.
And the stocks, we've invested in our front row stocks pretty heavily, and there's some of those prop academies that we had through the early 2000s. They are starting to pay dividends.
Track Tars. Shout out to Matty Everard. Yep, love that program. Long may it continue.
I was going to mention something in the UK Prem that happened, but I think I haven't really watched the game fully to understand it, but it was basically about Northampton Saints versus Saracens. Saracens player, it was over in goal. There's a law about if you want to make a try, you have to have like pressure from your torso, and it didn't go that way, and he ended up kicking it forward, and the Saints player ended up touching it down. So you could only really be seen by the TMO because the angle wasn't very good for like live play to see what happened. But I think that was a really interesting one. It was actually Christophe, I think, Ridley, that was the TMO for that match.
Presumably he's injured at the moment. That's why he's TMOing.
Yeah. And with that, he clearly said there was no clear pressure with that ball from the torso. And it all went backwards. And then that's when the player on the floor kicked it, and then you're just trying to figure out, and then Saints was like tap. So that was
it was all very messy. Them. Lots of bodies. Defending team thought they got back and grounded the ball for a touchdown. They had not. Attacking player goes, well, I haven't heard a whistle, play on. I'll put my hand on it just in case, and voila.
It's a good rule in life. Just going to put my hand on it just in case.
Yep. Tap. Just a little tap.
He's here every Thursday. Try the schnitty.
I think I'm done. Thank you. Candace, you were telling us you've got some sevens this weekend?
Yes. There's like a women's sevens tournament at Rats Park, and I did that last time. It was a really good contest. So I'm looking forward to doing that in the morning.
What a lovely spot to spend an afternoon at Dirty Rat Park.
Yeah, it's pretty close to me, so I'm always happy to
travel.
It'll
be November by then, won't it?
Locally.
Post-Halloween, actually. So, because there's not enough rugby on the 1st of November, so we've thrown that into the mix as well. You've got Wembley, you've got Twickenham, you've got London Irish, and you've got Rat Park.
Yep. And I think there's also an education thing happening at Daceyville for those Sydney referees on Sunday.
Is that the mods?
That's a very good point. Yes, there is.
Yeah.
I will be going to that.
I'll see you there, Rob. Is that
Level
the match
2
official developer one? Or I can't remember. Yeah.
Mod, match official developer. So we've been trying to run this course for a couple of years. Had a couple of false starts, but we're finally there. So very excited by that. Actually sending a reminder email about that today to everyone. So, yep, stay tuned. Really looking forward to it. Did my level one. Level 1 was a bloody pain because I did it just before COVID. So I did all the theory. We got shut down on COVID.
Right,
and
you had to do like 5 actual matches, right?
Yeah, it took me 2 years to get the get the field test signed up. Seriously, it literally did. It was just horrifically problematic because of COVID. Hopefully, touch wood, this one's a bit smoother.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I feel like I had my level 1. I was in a similar thing where I did lots of theory, and then I sort of like
I think you did me for one of the reports, didn't you?
That's what I mean. So I've done loads of different ones, but I think sometimes it's like you have to like upload them onto our system. And it's not always the case where the referee also needs to do self-reflection. So it always doesn't get captured. So I think I remember being like towards him, like, please fill in your form.
I think I remember going online and doing the form and saying something along the lines of, as Candace said, I was shit. She was right.
That's a bit
No,
harsh.
I don't think those were the words.
I didn't get that great selection I was hunting for the following week.
Or was that you coaching him?
It was Candace coaching me, yes.
Oh, right.
As Candace said, she was modding me, and as she said, I was shit.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Candace.
No.
I remember you had some peppermint tea and stuff as well. Maybe that was an interesting choice of half-time drink.
Lemongrass and ginger it was.
Oh, there we go.
You were bribing your mod, Pearcey.
No, it was for me. It was for me because...
It was for him.
If you recall at the time, my heart wasn't beating properly.
Was it? Right, okay. Yeah, and the doctor prescribed lemongrass tea. I'm sure they did.
I did. It was a great help.
Dr. Pearcey.
Dr. Pearcey.
So you're almost clear on the medical front. You just got some funny rings, and apart from that, you'd be good.
I am actually not. I am re-engaging with a hand surgeon today. The tendon in here actually, by the sounds of it, needs to be properly attached, not just hopefully growing back. It's not doing that. I think we're 9 weeks in counting, and it's just not there. So that'll be fun. I'm looking forward to that.
Well, you have to keep your hand off that.
I use the other hand. That's fine. Crickets. Speaking of which, I'm not doing rugby this weekend. I'm following my little man who turned 13 yesterday around for his cricket journeys.
Oh, he's the same age as my dog. There you go.
Cheddar, the mascot, Cheddar turned 3 yesterday. I think we can see him.
Oh my God, stop.
Just
Cheddar.
here, sleeping like a pretzel.
I can see I think a nose. Yes, all right.
He's adorable.
So where do you have to go for your cricket, Pearcey?
Bathurst, then Orange this weekend.
Okay.
Not too bad.
Local. Nice.
Unfortunately, I've been asked to play in the Father-Son President's Cup team, and I can't play. I've got a sore hand. I did use all of the excuses before that, like I have no pads, bat, kit, anything.
Skill.
We can sort that out. Oh, Rob, I can hit a ball like nobody's business. I can hold down an end most of the time with a bat, and I'm an energetic fielder. I think notably we are out of golden whistles. We haven't got one this weekend.
That's okay. I think we can bank a golden whistle or two for what is going to be a busy month ahead.
Any viewers that have got some suggestions, please send them in.
Yeah, send them in. Thank you all for listening, and you know where to find us on Instagram, and again, we're also on YouTube as well. So if you want to see our beautiful faces while we chat about this, you can come and listen to that on YouTube.
Rob, I thought we were especially crap today, especially me. I got a bit too blue. You brought a little bit of concealment in some of the topics, and it really had to drip feed it. It feels like we're scratching for topics. But we can be better. Candace, you were fantastic as always.
We need to do more work with our hands, Pissy.
Absolutely. Thank you, team.
Jouer.
Thanks.